What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the 6th episode of the Fusion Podcast. We hope you guys are doing well, and we thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, and share with anyone who you think might get some value from it. Before we get into our topic, we're just going to kind of go ahead and talk about how our week has been going. So, Rob, what's going on, my boy?
Not much. This week was good. Went to the beach this weekend. Didn't get very tan, obviously.
I did.
Yeah, you did. I did. I don't know. I got a little burn on my shoulders. But I went to the beach, had a good weekend, ate some good food. Been having a good week. It's been good. What about y'all?
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're chilling, man. We went to the beach. It was a good time. Kendrick just dropped his new album,
Yes,
so
sir.
been doing that, listening to that nonstop. Playoffs still going,
The
so
heat, bro. The heat.
he doing well. They start today, so I mean, not when this video is gonna launch, but they start today, so I'm excited for that. But other than that, man, good. Business is good. Everything's good, man. What about you?
This week was pretty good too. Did an open house and it was pretty good.
How'd that go? It was good.
It's pretty good, bro. The Tony Creek area for like open house is hot as fuck.
Yeah,
Oh.
man, everybody be showing up to him.
You don't even have to. You don't have to promote it. You put a sign outside. You
Yeah,
got a line.
We literally got it Friday and we just put on the MLS and we just put like 30, 40 signs and a lot of people showed up. Because people be curious around there.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. But that went well. This was like the first week where I was actually like back to work, like officially type thing. So it's been good.
That's what's up, bro.
That's what's up.
But today's topic that we want to cover is social media and how it can be beneficial for you in whatever it is that you enjoy and what you do. I personally know that it has been something impactful for me and has been impactful for Robert, Jonathan as well. We just kind of want to share some of our perspective on why we think it could be beneficial for you and or whatever it is that you do or any of your friends, family members, and things like that. Do you guys want to kick it off, or you guys want me to just go ahead?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as what you said. I mean, we're going to talk about kind of the difference between being a consumer on social media versus being an entrepreneur, I guess, or using it to your advantage.
Creator.
A creator. That's the word I was looking for. A creator on social media. I think there's a little bit of it. There's a big difference between the two, but there's not a huge difference necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the way that we have used it ourselves as creators and consumers, because we're all creators and consumers out of the three of us. But what do you guys think on, let's start with the creating side, right? On the creating of content and for social media, I feel like that's very impactful. You got to tell people what you do or else they're not going to know what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is you guys' take when it comes to creating content? How do you feel about creating content versus consuming the content? What's your best ways to think of ways to create content? That's a better way for me to
I
ask
think
it.
the consuming and creating is literally just how you're looking at it, how your mindset is on when you're using the apps. Because I mean, for most people, when you're looking at it, you consume it. And I mean, everyone who doesn't want to scroll on TikTok for a long time, you know? But it's also at the end of the day, I think there's like a way to consciously do it, and you just kind of take. For example, if you're in an industry like, for example, us, like we're in real estate, when we're scrolling on TikTok, it's good for us to look at trends and stuff like that in our niche, you know. So consuming consciously can help you create more. I feel like because when you put that creator hat on, it's more about how can I create something that will. I think it's always about providing value to whoever you're putting it out for. You know, that's how most of the people that create content get their following is because the people that are following them feel like they have valuable content. So I think it's definitely about consuming content consciously that you can find a good way to benefit for yourself, and then using that creativity that you've gotten by consuming to actually create what it is that is related to you.
I think basically how he said is just like be intentional. Like if you're going to be on social media looking at real estate things, be intentional. Search up realtors or search up whatever it is that you're looking for and put yourself in a mind space of like, okay, I'm watching these videos because it'll be inspiration for my videos. And just kind of putting what you want to get out of it a priority, if that makes sense. So like if you want more content ideas to be a priority, then put that, prioritize that. So like I said, look for real estate stuff or whatever it is that you're doing. Look for it on TikTok, Instagram. TikTok's a huge one because there's just so much.
So many, yeah.
But look at it and I mean, we have this term like at our office where it's like, I think it's like rip and duplicate, like just rip, like because really that's what it is.
Copy paste.
Copy,
Yeah,
control,
copy paste.
control V, dog.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying here.
You take someone's content and then you just repaste it, but you put your own little spin on it.
Uh-huh.
So that's really, and then like how you said, stay with the trends, because that's also a big thing too. Obviously, you want to be trendy. You don't want to do something that's like something that was long ago or something. You want to stay within the trends.
Mm-hmm. Stay within the trends, but also be authentic too. I think being authentic is huge, especially when you create content.
Yeah.
Like I know we had obviously talked about it before about your sister, is it?
Mm-hmm.
That she made content on gardening, and like that is valuable for the people that follow her. And she does it with intention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like that's why she can get such a following, because the content she's putting out is for a specific audience, and those people like are feeding off of that. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like a lot of the TikTok, especially TikTok, because on TikTok it's a lot easier for you to post one video and go viral than it is on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. It's definitely a really good platform for you to use, especially video content.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger things, and you both touched on it, is following, like with your intention on social media, following and looking at pages that are doing what you want to do or replicating what they're doing because it's something that you want to do, right? So what you do and what I do, I know for sure, and I know you do it too, is follow those people. You get ideas. You're like, okay, we actually did this just 30 minutes ago. We're talking about the way we want to set up our social media specifically for Instagram, and we started looking at podcasts that also have an Instagram and how they set up their social media. I think that's a great way to get an idea or a foundation for what you would like to do with your page as a creator. The other part of it that I do want to touch on is with the trends. There's a lot of people specifically on TikTok where they'll create a video or content that makes them go viral and be famous. That's not what we're really talking about. We're not talking about creating that one video that's super funny and gets people to all laugh at it and go get you viral. That can be helpful.
Bro, it's cool all in the like numbers scheme of things.
But that's not the point of being a creator on social media. No, you're trying to build some sort of community based off the authentic things that you're posting on your everyday life. So we post on our social media about what we do and the way that we want to present ourselves to people around us and in our community, rather than just posting hopefully one video that'll make us super famous to get a whole bunch of numbers. That's not really the idea behind being a creator on social media. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I feel like when you create something, you're creating something of value.
Mm-hmm.
So when you create something of value, obviously people are gonna, like we were saying, like people are gonna feed on that value and want more. And I feel like that's when people get good. Obviously, people talk about, like Gary Vee talk about it as like feeding the people that are taking your content. They want to see the value that you can provide.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about making sure that when you are creating content, you're creating content for those people, instead of for yourself, or whatever outcome that you want.
100%, just providing that value. There's also another thing I saw recently. I don't know if you guys, I haven't read this book actually. I bought it, but I haven't read it yet. It's by Patrick Bet-David. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
No.
But it's called Your Next 5 Moves, I think. And in one of the chapters, he talks about basically, if you want to grow, I mean, I don't know if he was specifically talking about social media, but just in general, if you want to grow, you need to be shameless. So, like, he says, The Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, he was shameless in promoting himself. He didn't care what people said. He just knew he had to promote himself, put himself out there. Same thing with Kevin Hart. Same thing with a lot of these people. They're shameless, meaning they're promoting, and they know some people are gonna feel some type of way about it, but they don't care. They're authentic. They're themselves. And that's why they have the huge following, and that touches back to the authenticity. Another thing too is like the value, right? Providing the right value. Because ultimately what you want to do with social media is build a community of people. And, building a community, especially like in our space, is huge because now we know people that do things, right? So like me, for example, I like to network a lot with business people. And then now whenever I hear, someone tell me, hey, I need a car detailer, I know like 5 of them. So I'll send them all to them, right? And if I'm able to help their business, they'll help mine, So it's kind of like that dynamic of there's just so many ways that you could utilize social media. You just have to, like I said, it goes all back to being intentional. Like, what are you trying to build? I said, well, with my social media, I mean, first and foremost, it's big, like, I guess credibility, right? Like, a lot of people, especially Instagram, I feel like it's like a business social media. Unlike TikTok is well, but TikTok's more like, I view TikTok like here, then Instagram, then Facebook, kind of. But Facebook's more for like older people, in my opinion.
Word.
Right? But Instagram's where people go to where they'll be like, oh, like I'm gonna check out his Instagram. I'm gonna see like it's like your resume in a way.
Almost.
Like your
right.
social media resume, right? So being intentional with it, right? And like that's why for me at least, it's like I said, building a community of people that I know or people who I've ever encountered with, right? And then being intentional by posting every day, because then now that's easy follow-up. I don't have to text them all the time. I wish I could text everybody all the time, but sometimes you know a lot of people and it's kind of hard to keep track of people.
For
Right?
sure.
So that's why I said, okay, if I post every day and I post stories every day and they see what I'm doing every day, not every time that they see my name or every time that they think of real estate, they're thinking of me, you know? So that's my ultimate goal with social media is, you know, and I became intentional doing that. I was like, all right, I want a certain amount of followers by this time because I want to create a community of people where they know what I'm doing day in, day out, right? And that's a relationship I'm building with them over time without truly having to like
Nurture.
if that makes sense.
With them.
Yeah, and I wish I could. It's not that I don't want to. I wish I could, but sometimes it's kind of hard, you know. But then they also see what I'm doing, so then when I see them, it's like it's not like, yo, like what you been up to? They know what I've been up to,
Yeah.
and I know what they've been up to because I look at their stories too and I see their posts. So that's kind of what I'm trying to build. But it's like how you said, the main thing is just building that community type thing.
Yeah.
Building the community is huge, and one thing you definitely hit on was the whole shamelessness. People are not gonna like your shit, and that is just the reality of it. And it sucks sometimes, but at the same time, it's not that bad, you know. Like people are gonna hate on everyone. Like you were saying, The Rock got hate, Kevin Hart got hate. Everyone is gonna get hate if you're doing great things. I feel like
That's
that
true.
is 100% fact. If you're doing great things, you're gonna receive hate, and it's just about how you react to that hate. That'll just push you to the next level, you know.
Yeah. I know one of the biggest things, even for me personally, like with social media, was that being shameless, right? Where getting over that mentality of, I don't want to be on camera because I'm worried of what people would say. And I know I said this in another video of seeing that instead of being like fear, seeing that as excitement of what could happen by me putting out those videos, the repercussions of people saying the positive things, not just the negative things, right? Because with all those negative comments and the shamelessness comes with the fact that there are going to be a lot of people that will support you. There will be a lot of people who like your stuff, like your content, just as well as there are people that don't like it necessarily. And you have to be okay and accepting of that in order to create content, because you have to accept both sides. You're going to see the positive. You just want to let that positive outweigh that negative and not completely dismiss it, but allow it to not affect you in your decisions. Like the way you choose to react to it, like we've talked about before, the way you choose to react to it is the thing that's going to determine how well or how unwell it does. You know what I mean?
And I think you hit on it on one of the videos. I love the way that you responded to that one guy.
Oh yeah.
It's like people who take the time to go out and bash you on social media are probably not too happy themselves. You know, they're probably in some other place that they feel they need to take something out on someone external that they probably don't even know. So I love when someone was bashing on one of our posts, I think.
Yeah, someone was saying something, but then recently too, someone said something about like, oh, next time use a mic. I was like, thank you. Like I know because the thing is we have the mic, right? But the thing is we don't connect it when we post. You know, so sometimes the audio doesn't sound the best.
Same.
But so they were like, oh, next time get a mic. There was somebody else as well that they said something too. But like I just view every feedback as good feedback. If you're posting on my anything, whether no matter what
It's
it is,
engagement.
it's engagement, right? And then that's another thing too, because of that community that I built, I didn't even have to respond to that guy. Somebody else did.
Bro, that was crazy.
That's key.
That was
That's
crazy
key.
stuff.
I don't want to cut off
No,
you too much, but I know that when you use social media and when you're trying to be a creator, engaging with other people's content will create a community and a connection with those people so that they will also hopefully engage with your content.
100%.
It's not a guarantee, but you're more likely to get engagement on your content if you're engaging on other people's content.
For sure.
So it's a respect thing. It's the same thing you just talked about. When you know someone who needs a car detailer, you've got 5 that you'll send over there, and they're going to help you with your business because you're helping them with theirs.
100%.
It's the same thing with social media. If you engage with people and interact with people on social media, they're more likely and more inclined to react and engage with your content as well.
100%.
And that's really what social media is about. It's engagement.
100%. Yeah, that's the whole point. I remember last time I said too as well, where it was like, I was listening to it on a podcast where this guy was saying, you know, well, I guess first and foremost, you can't be scared of what, like you can't just think of what could go wrong, you also deserve it. You have to give it to yourself to think what could go right, right? So it's like with the whole social media thing, right? You could sit there and you could think, oh my gosh, like, what if people bully me? What if someone says I have a big nose? What if someone says I have a big forehead? What if someone says I'm ugly? What if someone says that I say like a lot because I say like a lot? Whatever it is, right? No matter what it is, you could tell yourself that, or you could tell yourself, what if I help someone with their business? What if I help someone get through their day? What if I make someone laugh? You know, you owe it to yourself to see both sides.
Yep.
But besides that, I remember in this podcast what the dude was saying. He was like, you can't, I forgot what he said exactly. He said it perfectly, but it was like, you can't advertise yourself and then not pick up the phone when people like, you know, call. When people call, because when on that phone call, you don't know if it's going to be good or bad. So if they call, no matter what, if they're calling, if they're engaging, it's a good thing, right? Now, if it's good or if it's bad, it all doesn't matter. They're calling. That means that what you're doing is working, right? Yep. And it's huge too, because I remember you went to our sales rally and you heard what Bobby said, where it's like actions get results. That was huge. Action get results. And the S's are important because, you know, multiple actions get multiple results. Now, is it the result you want? It can be.
That's what he said. He was like, actions get results. Actions don't get the results you want.
Yeah.
They're just going to get you results.
They're going to get you results.
Bro, you know what that ties right into is that the result is out of our control. Okay? The action is something that is in our control. So you can't control if you're going to get what you want out of it. It may go bad, it may be good what you want, right? But you can't control taking that action to be out there, to post content, to interact with people, to pick up that phone call. Like, you have an option to do or to not to do. That's in your control. The way that they react or what message they give you is completely out of your control. 100%. So you can't stress over, damn, I'm not going to pick up the phone because it may be something I don't want to hear. But pick up the phone. And I know that I'm big on that too, because I have a lot of phone calls that I get in my business. A lot with my cell phone too. I know realtors get a lot on their cell phone too. You know, they speak with clients all day long, and I get people that aren't the happiest because loans aren't easy to do.
Of course.
You're dealing with their finances. And I miss a lot of phone calls. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. But I try to answer that phone as much as possible or call back, because I know that on phone call, whether good or bad, there can be both ends of that in the same phone call.
100%.
It can start off really bad and it can end very, very good. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And vice versa. It can start really good and I think I'm on the high road, and then it can go completely downhill, right?
Yeah, right.
So you can get both ends of it, and you can make somebody happy on that phone call, but you can't do that if you don't pick up the phone.
That's facts.
So you got to pick it up.
That's a huge point too, because like in that one conversation, you could legit get both sides of the coin. It could start off great. They could be all happy. You say one thing and it could turn bad. Likewise, it could start off terrible. You say one good thing and it could all be good, right?
Yep.
And it goes the same with social media, right? Like if you get a bad comment, right, and you respond to them in a good way, or someone else responds to them in a good way, no matter what, they're engaging, right? So no matter what, in my opinion, it's a good thing. But then what if you slowly start, you use what they said as feedback? And it's another too. People like to be heard. So like that person's right. Like maybe eventually we should have, connecting the mic to these videos. Or same thing with like, I remember someone was talking about like, the content should be on Spotify and Apple Music, which is something we've been trying to do for a minute. So it's going to happen. But that's a huge one too. Like I'm not going to be like, oh, whatever, bro. No, I'm going to be like, yo, we're working on that. Exactly. I appreciate you. And if you say that to them, it's like, oh, bet, they heard me. I'm going to tune in for the next one.
Yes.
Straight up.
And that's my goal. I just want engagement. That's ultimately what you want on social media. You can't, the only thing you can control is your action. Literally how you said it. What you put out. Now what happens if it goes viral, you can't control that. You could influence it in a way. Maybe you could put the right hashtags. You could tell people to promote it. You could tell people to share it. You could comment everybody's things so Instagram knows that you're paying attention to your post. But if you don't post it, any of those results is not possible. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why I always say, like, when you are doing a business or doing anything, or you want to do something that you love, if other people, especially if you're selling something, but in general, I feel like at this point, people are content. Like we were saying earlier, people are content. It's no longer like creating content. It's more like documenting the content that you create, that you are. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people just gotta go and be out there, because if someone doesn't know that you're doing something, how are they supposed to work with you?
Yeah,
100%.
Like if we didn't post on Instagram and we were just like telling our family members that we were realtors, we would get no business, bro. We're 19 years old, like 21 years old. It's not Like, it doesn't work like that. So putting ourselves out there, letting other people know about what you do, just even on social media,
It's huge.
it's huge, bro. It literally you're giving people, it's free advertisement. It's free advertisement, but it's not even advertisement if you're just promoting some of the things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah. It's just about being authentic. And I can speak to that like to a T because I know when I first started, I mean, I've never been the biggest advocate for being a creator on social media. I didn't always enjoy making the content. I didn't enjoy being on camera. Now I'm getting over that. I'm still working on it, but I am getting past that. But I know in the beginning of being a loan officer, I was only telling family and friends that I saw or realtors that I was working with because someone was giving me a deal, and I wasn't getting that much business. I was busy by doing day-to-day stuff, but not with actual loans. Once I started getting on social media, posting, or even just when I'm speaking with people, going to network events and putting myself out there into that community, the amount of deals, like after we get done with this podcast, I'm gonna go back to work. That's how much work I have. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing. That's what I want. And that's because of the fact that I've put myself out there a little bit more and I'm getting more deals compared to before where I was just telling family and friends. You know, it was, oh my God, that's real cool. Congratulations. You know, and that's great. It made me feel good. But it didn't give me money. It didn't give me any deals. Not that I'm about the money, but you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
100%.
it didn't bring any more traction to my business, which I was trying to do by word of mouth. So word of mouth is good, but also being out there on social media, like you said, is free advertising for exactly what you're doing with your life. Like, it's putting yourself out there and allowing other people to accept what you're doing, whether they like it or not. The way they're gonna react is not up to you. It's completely not up to
Out of
you.
your control.
So just put it out there.
Yeah, 100%. Anything else you want to touch on?
Nah, man, I think that's a pretty good session, low-key. I hope that you guys got some value from this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow all the channels. You know the vibes. Next week we're dropping another episode on Friday. Please tune in. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Send us a message on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. And we'll be happy to hit them on the next episode. But that's it from us. Fusion out.
Fusion out. Yeah.
A lot of times you're like, what?
It's kind of like a misway for me. If I'm talking, I feel like I'm loud, but then after 8:30 in the afternoon, I'm just extremely quiet for some reason when I speak.
8:30 in the afternoon.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Wait, yo, did you put that? Did you start recording?
I'm really happy that was recorded.
Bro, hold up.
Okay.
This man said 8:30 in the afternoon. Talking about, you
Okay, 8:30 in the evening. What y'all want me to say?
no, bro, but you have been run past that. Like, you're
Yeah.
mad
I'm
casual.
dead ass,
The
bro.
second time, too.
Okay, when I'm at home, it's at the 8:30 usually. So then when I'm chilling, like, if
But
someone's at
8:30
my
in the
crib-
afternoon?
In the afternoon, though?
But what, is the sun up? when
Yo,
you-
you're not kidding me, bro. It's afternoon still, right? Because the noon was before 8, so technically it's still afternoon. It's evening. Alright, don't flame me.